What's up, people? Been getting a lot of questions, I guess, asking me why do you drive a hearse? I'm like, I don't know. If you really want to get into Halloween, what better way to cruise around and pick up your stuff than a 20-foot long, 7,000-pound Cadillac? I think it's cool. Just one thing that mine does that a lot of people's don't do. I'll show you. Yes, sir. That, my friends, is 7,000 pounds of Detroit steel. That is a 1985 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham that was converted into a hearse by the Superior Coach Company. I think they're based out of Ohio. This one we got on Facebook Marketplace, actually, for $500. We have put a ton of money into it. It didn't run, no title, had a gray vinyl top that was infested with insects. The inside smelled like mouse piss and mildew. The tires are dry rotted. Paint was super faded. None of the doors opened. It was bad. We've already put in thousands of dollars worth of tires, suspension work. It's got air ride, of course. It's got the 4.1 liter V8. We had to replace the whole fuel system, fuel tank, sending unit. The inside's pretty much all original. We're about to go drop this dude off to his new home. Interior's plush. The only thing that sucks, the AC don't work, and I have the heater port bypassed in the summertime because it gets hotter than hell inside. It was converted back in the early 2000s into a party hearse, so none of the back flooring is in there. It's dirty. I haul stuff around. I pick up junk, lawnmowers to work on. Got a custom air ride. I built the kit from scratch. Original rollers. I put back seats in it for the kids, but they cry because it's so hot and there's no AC. Got some bucket seats out of an old Chevy, like a Econoline van. It's got 2 amps. One for the subs, one for the mids and highs. Got gigantic horn tweeters. Those came out of an old console TV stereo combo. Those are actually metal. They're die-cast metal. They're 60 years old and they are loud and crisp. Running Vogue white walls. You got to run Vogues if you got a Cadillac. 235 75 15s. Got all LED headlights, interior lights. Runs great. I think it's due for an oil change. But it's got custom air ride. It's from my Chevy Caprice, early box Chevy Caprice. Bought the cups and the bags separate, the airline separate, the tanks, the compressor, everything separate. All the dump valves are separate. Like, the kit was completely built all from scratch. Not something you just say, I want to buy a air ride for a Cadillac and they send it to you. This was all built like from scratch. Got old school lowrider toggle switches. Got those out of California. The dude sells the plate with the switches, and then I had to buy the switch extensions. It's got an in-dash DVD player. Right now I'm running 14 speakers in here. It gets loud. It's got 4x6s in the dash with tweeters up high. It's got 4x6s in the doors with tweeters mounted up high. It's got those ones in the back, the tweeters. It's got the 212s. And then it's got some little baby tweeters right there. It's loud. It gets crazy. It gets a lot of looks. People love it. Some people hate it. So it's all about personal preference. But if you find a good deal, I mean, jump on it. It's always worth it. I mean, that hood alone is probably $500. That front clip is about $800. So I mean, I think we got a good deal. You know, it runs great. I cruise all over town in it. And then the wife has this one. It's the 84 Cadillac commercial chassis. This is actually built on a commercial chassis from Superior Coach Company. We picked this one up on one of the Hearse pages. Let's see if I can get the door open. Let me switch hands. This one does have the casket. It's got the floors, partition wall, sliding glass. Pretty much the same as the other one. It's exactly what it was supposed to look like when it came from the Coach Company. This one just has vinyl interior. This isn't a Brougham, so it doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the black one has. This one's just got plain vinyl seats. Still got power windows, door locks, pretty much all same interior. It's got a little Bluetooth stereo in there. I've done the front speakers, all LED lighting. It's been slammed. It was like that when we bought it. Those are porta-wall white wall inserts. The guy that we bought it from had the black wall out without, doesn't have white walls on the inside, so I went and bought the porta walls, installed those. Back windows Lexan. It was broken out when we bought it. It smelled like mildew in here. We've used this to pick up caskets and drop them off for at the funeral home for family members that, you know, we're gonna have a viewing for. But this is the old lady's car. It's the 84. It's got a 6.0 with a turbo 400. It's a 4.1 with a 200R transmission. This one's not meant to get up and go. It's got a little metallic sheen I put in the paint. It was pretty roached out when we got it, so I just went over it with some metallic clear coat. And then a couple years later, went over it again. It's got a bed liner spray roof. It got real dry and dull, so I went ahead and redid it with some black enamel paint, which is starting to flake off because it doesn't want to stick to the bed liner coating. All around the window trim, it's done with urethane. Me and a buddy put in that windshield, and we had some leftover urethane, so it went around the where the trim is, redid that in black. This one doesn't have it because it's a low top. This was actually built by the Coach Company. This one was built by Cadillac, and then the Coach Company had to add the roof onto it. So this has a regular Cadillac windshield. This one has a commercial windshield, which is a lot longer. These windows are a lot taller. These windows are shorter. They actually cut these doors down. Probably they take about 10 inches off of these doors where that little vinyl piece is. That's where the back glass is supposed to be for the rear doors. If you take off all of the paneling, you can see where they had to weld everything in. This thing's a beast, but it does have a bad transmission. Reverse doesn't work. Forward gears work just fine. I've already done a flush, cleaned the valve body, changed the filter, pan gasket, all that. Nothing helped. The clutches are totally toast. I rebuilt the distributor on it. It's got a Edelbrock air breather, same as the 4.1. I put a Edelbrock air breather on that. Full new ignition system, starter, alternator, battery. Upgraded all the electrical wiring for the starter and charging system because of the air ride and the stereo that sucks a lot of power. But with a 2-tank setup, it's got 2 3-gallon tanks. It's got some like cheap Via Air style compressors. They're made by Air Max. Not the best quality, but you know, they were like a train horn setup. I just added 2. The left side tank and compressor run the left side, the right side tank runs the right side. So I could have all the plumbing for this on this side and all the plumbing. I didn't want to have it crisscrossed, you know. But it was all hand done right here in the driveway. I just had to cut a bunch out of the frame. We went with smaller tires and wheels. It would lay frame, but that's about as low as it'll go. But she's a runner. So yeah, we have fun with it. Got my little casket on the dash. But yeah, it still has the original sliding glass. But the company that bought it after the funeral home, they turned it into a party hearse, and it had bench seats in the back, and it was real rickety and kind of janky. So I tore all that out and decided just to put the back seats, and I pretty much use it for like a pickup truck. Just got some cheap floor mats in there. It didn't have no floor mats. The carpet was completely just solid mold when we got it. It stunk so bad in here. The body work is pretty bad. There's a lot of Bondo flaking off. But for what it is, it's a cool car. So you got your front left, front right, rear left, rear right. So if you want to go up in the front, she locks up. And when you do the rear, you just hit the other 2, and then as she goes up in the rear, she locks up. Try to drive it pretty level because I have ran out of gas many a times because I've had it slammed in the rear and all lifted in the front. You got to have it lifted in the front because you can't steer. The tires are sucked in there, so it'd be nice to get some new wheels for it, but these hubcaps are hard to come by. I had to buy this one hubcap, and that was $90. And it was the only one I could find in the entire country because these are only built for ambulances and funeral coaches. They're not on your regular Cadillacs. The regular Cadillac Fleetwoods have like a spoke wheel hubcap. So it was really hard to find these. This one actually had all 4, which was awesome. We just had to replace that back window because it was broken out. So took it all apart and made a Lexan window because you cannot find a back door glass. These back doors are all custom built. So to find one, it's almost impossible, and they're curved, which makes it even worse. And you don't see these like at Pick and Pull. Maybe the later, 2000, early 2000s, you might be able to find at a Pick and Pull, but not an 80s model, 70s model. People usually hang on to them when they get them. So yeah, that's what we like to roll around pretty much all year long. We're Halloween people. This is our thing. This is what we love. So if you ever get a chance, like, you find one, get it, because somebody else will. that's it for this one. We'll see you on the next one.